It's Friday, November 3rd, 2023. Welcome to episode 77 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. In this edition of the Postcast, Alamedans are honored at the District 18 Community Awards. Alameda Meals on Wheels celebrates 50 years of service. AC Transit looking ahead to next year and seeking your input on potential route changes. Work has begun on the McKay Avenue Wellness Campus. We've got some Halloween data for you. Congratulations to Alameda High School water polo. Don't forget to set your clocks back. And can I ask you a favor? These stories and more on this episode of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story. Last Friday, the California Assembly District 18 Awards were held in Emeryville. The awards recognize nonprofits and individuals in our district for exceptional public service. Assemblymember Mia Bonta recognized multiple Alameda organizations and individuals. Kiwanis Club of Alameda received the Social Justice Awards. Jeremy Andehusen received a Local Hero Award for his organization of the annual Alameda Pride Weekend. Alameda Family Service, recognized as the Nonprofit of the Year. Buena Vista Methodist Church received the Community Peace Award. Village of Love named Outstanding Organization of the Year. And the Alameda 4th of July Parade honored as Arts and Festival of the Year. A special Lifetime Achievement Award was presented to the Reverend Michael Yoshi for 32 years of leadership as pastor of Buena Vista Methodist Church. For details on the awards, plus links to the winning organizations, see alamedapost.com/news. Another celebration took place in October. Alameda Meals on Wheels took a moment to reflect on a half-century of service to our island city. The idea for Meals on Wheels started with a 1971 meeting when Martha Killebrew, who was with the Alameda Committee on Aging at the time, and Abe Kaufman, who was editor and publisher of the Alameda Times-Star, were seated together during the annual dinner meeting of the Visiting Nurses Association at the Alameda Naval Air Station Officers Club. 2 years later, the first meals were delivered, and since then it's been rain or shine 365 days a year. On October 15th, the organization celebrated its 50th anniversary with a party for employees, volunteers, sponsors, and friends in the lobby of the College of Alameda's new building. The gathering commemorated the milestone and honored volunteers and other supporters who have contributed to the success of the program. The meals are prepared each morning in the kitchen at Bayview Nursing Center, where the Meals on Wheels office is also located, each meal prepared to accommodate specific dietary needs, and is labeled for the individual recipient. There's no charge for these daily meals. Technically, there's a sliding scale ranging from $0 to $6.50, but participants are not required to pay anything, and most do not, according to Executive Director Perry Drake. All told, around 120 volunteers combine to deliver nutritious meals to as many as 200 recipients a day. That works out to over 70,000 deliveries a year. Alameda Meals on Wheels is unique in that it is supported entirely by the community and accepts no government funding. Because of this, the organization is able to help all who need it, not just seniors. The greatest source of income, donations from individuals, and sponsorships with local businesses. For full details on all the services Meals on Wheels provides, as well as a list of sponsors and ways you can get involved, see alamedapost.com/news. AC Transit moving into Phase 3 of its realigned service planning effort and is asking the public to weigh in on two potential service networks that could take effect in August of 24. Like many transit agencies nationwide, AC Transit is re-examining its route network to adapt to new travel patterns resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. The two potential revenue-neutral scenarios are balanced coverage. This scenario maximizes the potential for ridership growth while maintaining service to as many existing locations as possible, and frequent service. This scenario eliminates route segments with low ridership and redistributes those resources to increasing service on routes with higher demand. Under this scenario, bus service will be provided every 30 minutes or better on weekdays. Additionally, AC Transit is exploring an unconstrained vision. This scenario provides a long-term vision for what the route network may look like with additional funding and resources. The first public workshop took place this past Wednesday. There are additional workshops and meetings planned, both in person and virtual. For a look at the maps, route potentials, and links to ways you can make your voice heard, see Ken Durr's article at alamedapost.com/news. Here at the Postcast, we've been following the saga of the former Maritime Officers Training School property on McKay Avenue since all the way back in Episode 8. As you may recall, there was quite a bit of intrigue as the site was originally approved for demolition with the blessing of the Alameda Historical Advisory Board. But some pushback from community members and community organizations found the case brought all the way to the State Historical Preservation Officer. After the application to include the facility on the National Register of Historic Places was dropped last August, the path was cleared to move ahead. This past week, Alameda Point Collaborative began abatement and demolition work at 1245 McKay. This is the fruition of a 2019 vote on Measure A, when Alameda residents voted to support development of a medical respite center and supportive housing community at the site. The project will consist of a 2-story facility that includes 50 beds for medical respite and hospice, a medical clinic, and a drop-in center where Alamedans at risk of becoming homeless can get assistance. This building is one part of a holistic campus which, when completed, will also include a 100-bed permanent supportive housing facility for homeless elders with medical needs. Alameda Point Collaborative acquired the former federal site through the federal homeless accommodation process. This is the 3rd successful accommodation undertaken by APC, a major accomplishment given that there have only been about 100 conveyances successfully completed across the nation since the accommodation law was passed in the 1980s. APC has set up a construction hotline for questions, complaints, or concerns at 510-227-5484. For more details, see alamedapost.com/news. We all know that Halloween on Alameda is really next level, from the intricate displays so well cataloged by our own canine reporter Moof, to haunted houses, spooky stories like Dennis Evanowski's The Trunk in the Attic, to the throngs that invade the Gold Coast. Alameda really steps up at All Hallows Eve, and we've got the numbers to prove it. As she did last year, Mackenzie Stewart applied science to trick-or-treating at Central and Grand, logging the costume choices of 929 trick-or-treaters. Among her findings, a notable drop-off in the number of Marvel-themed characters, and the usual slew of characters from Nightmare Before Christmas, as well as Wednesday Addams and Coraline. As Mackenzie notes, quote, "It remains clear that Alameda is where goths go to retire and have kids," end quote. For a look at Mackenzie's research, which is filled with charts, graphs, and a bunch of on-the-nose observations, see alamedapost.com/features. Congratulations are in order for both the women's and men's water polo teams at Alameda High. Both squads are champions of the West Alameda County Conference. Well done, Hornets. In this day and age of smart devices, most of your clocks are going to reset themselves this weekend, but always a good reminder. Sunday marks the end of daylight saving time. So, as you head to bed Saturday night, or if you happen to be up at 2 a.m. on Sunday, it's time to fall back 1 hour. And yes, technically it is daylight saving time, not daylight savings time. Maybe that will be useful at your next trivia night. If you're a regular listener, you know I like to share Alameda's hidden gems, those little unexpected bits of excellence. Bumped into one recently, and what was an occasional happening is now an every Friday thing. Chef Dre's Satisfied Barbecue pop-up outside of Swell Bar. I lived in the heart of barbecue country for many years, and Chef Dre makes some of the best I've had since heading west. Look for Satisfied BBQ on Instagram or follow Swell Bar's socials. We're geared up for our last walking history tour of the year. Adam Gillett and Dennis Evanowski will explore Park Avenue and environs at 10 a.m. Saturday, November 4th, with an encore presentation next Sunday, the 12th. What was originally intended as an amenity for the well-to-do didn't quite work out that way. Alfred Cohen, he intended differently. Find out more by signing up at alamedapost.com/tours. Dennis has written a pair of articles to prepare you for that tour. Head to alamedapost.com/history. Check out What's in a Name, Chichenyo Park, as well as Park Avenue, from exclusive neighborhood to public park. As they did last year, the folks at Newsmatch are offering to make your gift to the Alameda Post go twice as far. From now until December, Newsmatch will match your donation to the Post dollar for dollar. While we have memberships at every level, sometimes folks wonder, how much should I give? If you've never given, here's an idea. How much will you spend on a dinner out without thinking about it? I'm not talking a big celebratory blowout. Just what are you comfortable spending when you don't feel like cooking and you're okay paying that much to let somebody else handle the work? Try that amount. And thanks to Newsmatch, you'll be giving twice that much to keep local news alive and well in Alameda. Details at alamedapost.com/op-ed. And wherever you can give, thank you. As always, lots going on this weekend. Details at alamedapost.com/events. Miss Bennett Christmas at Pemberley continues at Altarina Playhouse. First Saturday of the month means Cars and Coffee Alameda at the Greer Family Mortuary at 8 a.m. First Saturday also means the Little Flippers class for kids 5 to 12 at the Pacific Pinball Museum. The Farmers Market is Saturday from 9 until 1. The 43rd Annual Alameda Holiday Boutique is this weekend at the O Club, 10 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. The second annual Fiesta Alameda is Saturday from noon until 5 at the Alameda Point Taxiway. The California Historical Radio Society holds their radio and electronic swap Saturday from 9 until noon. Many more events, alamedapost.com/events. Thank you for supporting local news for Alameda. Join us as a member, alamedapost.com/memberships. Remember, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, as well as our own subreddit. And don't forget to subscribe to our Apple News channel. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcasts, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm Scott Peeler. I'll be back next Friday with episode 78 of the Alameda Postcast.